There is only one thing that can make a man do this. It's gotta be demon possession. In my Christian beliefs, this guy is possessed. Sorry, it all aims that way. That's just my thoughts. Like I always say, the choices you make are your own, and you should be able to do what you want. After all, God gave you free will, right? I say the same thing for people that do drugs or break any kind of laws that do not hurt anybody else. No stealing, stuff like that. I think if a guy wants to be a bad person, he has the right to be a bad person as long as it doesn't affect anybody else. I say the same things for people that do drugs, like I said. I don't think there should be any laws restricting someone's free will. If they choose to destroy themselves with drugs, then that's their choice. I say the same thing for just about anything. We have the right to life, liberty, and property, and before they modified it, it was the pursuit of happiness. And if this mutilation makes him happy, so be it. But can someone please explain to me why someone would do something like this to themselves? Well, being that I am a Christian, I think the guy is possessed, like I said, by some kind of demon or something. If you're living and following Jesus, your only answer is that. Here he is before his sex change and body mutilation. First and foremost, you need to understand this. God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah because of sexual immorality. Those cities. He destroyed those cities. Because Lot was Abraham's nephew, God said he would spare the cities if he could find 50 righteous. In case you do not know what righteous means, it's honest, honorable, blameless, moral, basically a decent person. Then he said 40, then 30, then 20, then he even said 10. And he could not find a single righteous person, I'm telling you. This guy, he even freaking cut his ears off. If this is not possession, I don't know what is. Now, God spared Lot and his family, and even his wife could not listen to God. And because she did not listen, she was turned into a pillar of salt. His girls, his kids, though they thought they were doing the right thing, also fell into immorality by getting their father drunk and having sex with him to get pregnant to repopulate. God destroyed those cities for the very same thing this guy and thousands of others are doing in this day and age. Now I'm going to talk about a little bit of Romans. So yes, I'm going to do some preaching. For those of you that don't believe in God, maybe someday you'll wake up. The oldest story in the world, God. Whether it be whatever religion. Anyway, Romans 1:18 through 32. I'm not going to go that far though. New King James Version here. For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, who suppress the truth in unrighteousness, because what may be known of God is manifest in them, for God has shown it to them. For since the creation of the world, his invisible attributes are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. Because although they knew God, they did not glorify him as God, nor were thankful, but became futile in their thoughts, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Professing to be wise, they became fools, and changed the glory of the incorruptible God into an image made like corruptible man, and birds, and four-footed animals and creeping things. Therefore, God also gave them up to uncleanliness in the lust of their hearts, to dishonor their bodies among themselves, who exchanged the truth of God for the lie, and worshipped and served the creature rather than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. For this reason, God gave them up to vile passions, for even their women exchanged the natural use for what is against nature. Likewise, also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust for one another, men with men, committing what is shameful, and receiving in themselves the penalty of their error which was due. And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a debased mind, corruptible mind, whatever, to do those things which are not fitting, being filled with all unrighteousness, sexual immorality, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, strife, deceit, evil-mindedness. They are whisperers, backbiters, haters of God, violent, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, undiscerning, untrustworthy, unloving, unforgiving, unmerciful, who knowing the righteous judgment of God, that those who practice such things are deserving of death, not only do the same, but also approve of those who practice them. That is you, people. Anyone that approves of this crap is just as bad. For this reason, God gave them up to vile passions, for even their women, like I said, will exchange the natural use for what is against nature. Likewise, also the men, leaving the natural use of woman, burned in their lust for one another, men with men, committing what is shameful, and receiving in them the penalty of their error which was due. Yes, I said it again. Homosexuality is wrong in so many ways. I don't care what you say, it's wrong. I have gay friends, and they know my stance on their choice. Do I still love and respect them? Yes, I do, because it's their choice. I am responsible for one person, and that person is me. If people choose to live in a way that spits in God's face, then it's their choice. But just like that, last passage said, for since the creation of the world, his invisible attributes are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, men and women, lion, lioness, a female this, a male that, okay? So that they are without excuse. They know what is natural. Because although they knew God, they did not glorify him as God, nor were thankful, but became futile in their thoughts, and their foolish hearts were darkened. If someone wants to cut off their ears and look like a dragon, that is their choice. We all have free will. But remember, with free will, there are also consequences with every decision you make in life. There is a wrong one and a right one. So keep your minds free from control of the media, because that is what's making all this corruption seem okay. It's plainly called repetitive mind control. It's not okay, and it will never be okay.